Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's episode of the ZodWriter Show. I am ZodWriter, and with me tonight, as always, I have that one, Carlos, and Johnny Alpha, my two wonderful, wonderful co-hosts for this show. And we've got a lot of great topics to talk about tonight. Number one, first and foremost on the list, I'm not even going to sugarcoat anything. We need to talk about the way AT&T as a company is treating the Snyderverse fans. We need to talk about that because this is really, it's a serious bone of contention. And I don't understand how any company that values customers can continue to treat their customers the way that they do. I do not understand how any of this makes sense. There was a tweet that was put out today, an HBO Max tweet, and Warner Brothers and it was retweeted by some HBO Max people. It's really disheartening to see how we're looked upon as clowns and idiots for wanting more of their product. Okay. And I'm not even talking about myself personally, because at this point I've washed my hands with Warner Brothers. I don't care what they put out at this point. Warner Brothers could announce tomorrow that they're going to restore the Snyderverse, and I'd still hate their guts, and I still wouldn't trust them because they have not done anything to ensure goodwill with their customer base. It doesn't make any sense. How are you going to crap all over a fan base that is supporting you and has done a free marketing campaign for your product for almost 4 years now, and now it's still going because of Restore the Snyderverse? Look, we're not doing this to be a nuisance. We're not doing this to be toxic. We're doing it because we love the product and we want more of it. Any other company would be chomping at the bit for this type of attention. But instead, we get crapped on and get treated like we don't matter because they've got, some weird, weird thing against Zack Snyder and some weird thing against us. When all we've done is show that we support their product and that we feel that the Snyder Cut has shown enough to prove that there's demand for that product. So I don't understand this. I don't understand why we have to keep dealing with these constant petty attacks by this company. I don't understand why they keep taking it upon themselves to personally throw shade at the fan base. I'm going to say something right now that's not going to win me any fans. And really, seriously, isn't. The biggest problem I see is that the camp for Restore the Snyderverse is broken up into two camps. A camp that matters and a camp that has all the favor, by Zack Snyder, and they know who they are. And then there's the camp that does all the hard work, that does all the groundwork, that's responsible for the banners, the plane banners in the air, and the trucks driving around that say Restore the Snyderverse. But then you have this other group that wants to take credit for everything that good about the movement and wants to shun these people over here. And I don't know what the scenario is, but it seems like Zack Snyder himself doesn't recognize the other side of the fandom that's doing all the groundwork. And that ticks me off because I feel like everybody has contributed in one way or another to helping get this movie released. I don't care who you are. If you've hashtag release the Snyder Cut, if you've hashtag restore the Snyderverse, if you've done anything like that, if you've donated to AFSP, if you've bought a t-shirt, if you've subscribed to any of this kind of stuff, then you've supported and you've done a part and played a role in this movie getting released. And you are showing your support to Zack Snyder as a filmmaker. And I just don't feel like it's fair that there's this one little group of people over here that seems to be the only ones that matter. that seem to be the only ones that, if they're not involved, if they weren't the ones responsible for the banner flying over Warner Brothers, if they weren't the ones responsible for the trucks, then it doesn't matter. Well, that's BS, and that shouldn't be. It should be a massive, massive combination of all sides coming together. And at this point, Warner Brothers is laughing at us because we're divided as a fandom. We're completely split. We have to be united as one. We have to all be standing behind the hashtag, and we have to decide what course of action we need to follow if we want to restore the Snyderverse. And honestly, that's just the way that it is. You have to have a united front. And I would like to say that canceling HBO Max would be the solution to get them to restore the Snyderverse. But the problem is, you would have to do it in the millions. You would literally need millions of subscribers to cancel in order for them to get the message, for them to be able to say, we lost millions of subscribers. Maybe we made the wrong decision, and maybe we need to, step back and restore the Snyderverse. Johnny Alpha and I were talking about this off air. And I've come to the conclusion that the best way that we can show Warner Brothers that they've made a mistake at this moment is by supporting the heck out of Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, proving that make this movie a super hit on Netflix, make it so big that it cannot be ignored, make it so big that Netflix is going to be talking about it for the next 6 months. That's what has to happen. We need to make it a bona fide hit so that nobody can turn around and say, well, Army of the Dead, was just okay. It didn't do all that well. It was just, da-da-da. Because Netflix isn't going to hide the numbers. Netflix isn't going to be like HBO Max and pretend like the Snyder Cut didn't do anything and Godzilla versus Kong, the piece of crap that was a massive success. I mean, who are you trying to kid? I'm so tired of this. I mean, and don't even get me started on this Mortal Kombat movie. My God, they made it seem like this Mortal Kombat movie, Wonder Woman 84, and Godzilla vs. Kong were these super colossal, massive hits. Are you kidding me? I mean, come on. If you're going to tell me that when we did, I think it was something like, correct me if I'm wrong, like 1.5 million tweets for the Snyderverse, restore the Snyderverse, wasn't it something like that? If we could bring out those kind of numbers, that kind of engagement, then what are you talking about? Those numbers, those social media numbers, have to translate to something when it comes to dollars and cents. And I, for one, am tired of being ridiculed by a company when I'm just asking for more of their product.
Especially when Zach's got something coming out at the competitor that looks better than anything he could be making for Warner Brothers. I mean, honestly,
I don't get it. Carlos, what's your take on all this, man? I need to take a breath.
Yeah, well, I've been gone for a few weeks. I know you haven't seen me around the show, and I wish I was here more. I just had a bunch of schoolwork and stuff, but from seeing these last few movies that were coming out, like Mortal Kombat, which to me is a crap fest. I mean, like, I wanted to like it so much, but it just became so mediocre. 4 out of 10. If we want to go into that, we can. But I guess it just seems like HBO Max and stuff, they just care about the brand and like kind of like the front facing look of these things, and not actually giving out quality content that'll keep and retain loyal like subscribers, So I mean, that's all I got to say to that. I was really disappointed.
Okay, and Jeffrey, welcome to tonight's show. What's your take on all this?
Well, first thing I gotta say is Congrats to WB and HBO Max. You've actually made me mad for the first time in years. So congratulations to that. And really, this really does piss me off because this is really the kind of the stupidest thing that I've ever seen. Like, let's hypothetically go at this in the whole Civil War thing, and that's been heavily rumored and really been told by Sil. Like, let's say that this is true in the first place. AT&T, you are the stupidest. If this is true, that there is a civil war going on between you and WB, you are the stupidest company right now because right now, if I am correct, you are in deep debt right now. So you need money right now. So if I were you, like I wouldn't. If this once again, if this civil war thing is true, this civil war is ruining your company. If I were you right now, I would straight up fire the people who are really kind of against the hashtag or the Snyderverse, because this is the thing that not a lot of people understand. Like I've seen people say that I've been seeing a lot of people say, "Oh, you gotta be patient, yada yada." Dude, I'm actually been a lot of those patient people saying like, you know what, I'm gonna wait to see what happens, yada yada. But this is just really, really fucking stupid. This is really stupid in the sense of like, we really do have to take drastic measures to actually prove a point. Like, that's really my only take on it. Like, they really are at the peak of stupidity levels for me, man. I really am
Amen,
pissed off.
amen to that. Amen to that, Jeffrey. I couldn't agree with you more. Truth 31, welcome back to the ZodWriter Show, my friend. What's your take on all this god-awful nonsense, man?
Well, I just did a 1 hour live stream talking about this, and I was a little upset to say the least. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with HBO Max and Jason Clark, who's been radio silent. I don't know why he's been radio silent, especially with that tweet from what was that douchebag's name? I already forgot his name. Saying that, like, sorry, release the Snyder Cut, bro. Sorry, it's not gonna happen. I was like, what? Like, are you kidding me? Especially since inside HBO Max retweeted that tweet, and they're gonna retweet that, but they're not gonna retweet all the fans saying hashtag restore the Snyderverse, hashtag HBO Max, hashtag we want to see Henry Cavill, we want to see the Batfleck series, we want to see Justice League Part 2 and Part 3. Please hire Zack Snyder. They won't retweet that bullshit, but they won't retweet fucking all the fans who are putting in all the hard work for putting up billboards and all this shit. For what?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you with that, Truth. As far as putting up the billboards and the truck driving around in the plane banner, I'm kind of a little bit mad at Zack Snyder over this, because Zack Snyder gives all this attention to the kinds of stuff that are being pushed by one particular group, one particular side of the fandom. But when it's another group that is on the ground doing all the work and campaigning in a different way, that kind of stuff isn't getting mentioned. And I hate to say it, but the reason why that stuff isn't getting mentioned is because it isn't being spearheaded by the main people who have made themselves essentially the de facto leaders of the Snyder Cut movement. And that's the problem.
Let me get on that real quick.
Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Because this is really something that has to go on, that needs to be said. This needs to be said about the whole faction thing. And I know that I know you're not going to name drop them, but I am. It is known that there are two separate factions. And to me, I got to just say this. Zod, I know what you mean, but you gotta remember this: Nerd Queens, Enosh, like all of these Enosh, TVZ, all that. Like we need to, like we really do need to come together on this, and you say, and really just, you can say whatever you want about the other faction, yada yada. I don't care about that. Okay, like I honestly do not care about the pettiness that's going on between these two factions. I really do not care. What I care about is just getting the Snyderverse restored, which I think everyone here would agree on. Everyone agreed that the Snyderverse should be restored. So my question is, why is everyone having this bickering in between two different factions? Why is that?
That's a good question, Jeffrey. That's a good question, and I agree. I agree with you, but I also feel like it's the responsibility of everyone involved, and this is why I look at it like this: when Zack Snyder promotes an event, when Zack Snyder promotes something that the fans do in a positive way to promote restore the Snyderverse, you got to sprinkle that out equally. If you're going to promote, for example, no disrespect to anybody, but if you're going to promote Justice Con, then you should equally promote it when you have fans on the other side flying a plane over Warner Brothers. You should be celebrating both things. When you have people doing different campaigns because they have different ideologies and they might not agree.
Zach does that.
You have to support it all.
Like that. Zach actually does that. He does that very equally, and I get that. But my thing is that my problem with what you is really like with people, like it's okay for you to disagree on them in a really kind of like a little silent level. It's okay for me, I'm okay with that. Like for me, like it's kind of like, okay, you didn't need to do that, yada yada. But my thing is this: we have to let's actually make this more personal and go to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Very different approaches in the civil rights movement. Malcolm X wanted violence, while Martin Luther King Jr. wanted to speak. They had different stances on getting the civil rights done, but the common thing is they wanted civil rights. So my thing is that it's this whole thing about these factions and people having a different thing. My thing is that it's okay for you to really not like them for having the spotlight. It's okay for that. But my thing is, when it comes to this, you cannot blame them for wanting the exact same thing. So my thing is this: I do, like, when I say us united, like, I actually do support that, but don't use it in the sense of like, oh, it's really a hashtag that really does push it politically, yada, like Mr. West Ashley puts it. Like, to me, I really do believe that when people are united, they can get stuff done.
True,
exactly.
But we're not united, though.
That's
Zod
exactly
said,
the problem.
There's only a certain faction that gets all the praise, that gets all the attention, while everyone else who puts in the same amount of hard work gets ignored and gets shoved to the side. And to me, that's bullshit. Everyone made this happen. Not just these special group of people, the X-Men as I call them, get all this fucking attention. Like, no, that's nonsense. Like what is that?
Truth,
I like that.
Truth, I understand, but once again, you had to look at this pettiness and put it aside.
But it's not pettiness, though.
Like, my thing is this: Are you saying it's not pettiness?
No, it's not.
Think about it like this. You think about it like this. Are you mad that someone is getting more praise than you?
No.
I'm disappointed because everyone should be getting praise because all of us did this together, not just a certain group of people. That's my point. So everyone put in the same amount of hard work, so everyone should have the same amount of praise and same amount of respect.
And it's not even about praise. It's not even about that, Jeffrey. It's about the fact that that if we are to be united and if we are to be one group, then we need to be united and be one group. It can't be about praise. It can't be about the limelight. It can't be about special people getting this and getting that. It can't be about none of that. So I half agree with you, and then I half don't, because part of me is like, well, I know what I do, and I know what I've tried to do to help the movement. I know you know, everybody knows individually what they've tried to do and the ways that the different ways that they've contributed. I've never once come on my channel and said, my goal is to interview Zack Snyder. My goal is to have Deborah Snyder on my show. My goal is to talk to Dave Bautista. I never cared about any of that. None of that is on my agenda at all. The only thing I've ever wanted to do is support Zack Snyder and help get this movie released. And once that happened, the goal changed from release the Snyder Cut to restore the Snyderverse. And now we are in a holding pattern because we've got it coming from all sides. We're getting crapped on by blue check marks. We're getting crapped on by HBO Max. We're getting crapped on by Warner Brothers. We're getting crapped on by this side. We're getting crapped on by that side. It's an impossible. It's almost like a real life Rubik's Cube that we're all struggling with trying to figure out, because it doesn't seem like there's a path in which everybody can come together and be like, we all want the Snyderverse. We all have to agree. I'm starting to think that really, if we all can come together, the one way we can do it would be if we were to become a cohesive unit and get to the point where we could start going after AT&T in terms of stock, in terms of getting stock in the company and eventually making it becoming where it's a public thing, where the public controls, the aspects of how they run things as a company. That's really the only way it's going to change, because I thought about this. Even if you can get people to boycott HBO Max, even if, let's say, you can get 1 million plus people to drop HBO Max, that's still a drop in the bucket to what AT&T is looking at, because AT&T is a media company. All they care about is numbers and money. It's about cell phones. It's about telecommunications. It's about that kind of stuff. So for me, it's like, if you really want to get at a company, you have to essentially take over the company, essentially.
Right. And you're right about that. And really, like, with that too, like, what I do is I typically really don't care who's doing a event or not. Like, I really don't think as much about it. Like, I really do support both. I really do support both factions, if you want to put it that way. I just put it as fans doing it their own way. And really, that's really, I think, how I think everyone should do it. Like, this might be my 20-year-old brain thinking, but really how I see it is just think of it as a simple thing of people doing it their own way.
All right. Truth, what do you think, man?
Well, I know Snyder stepping up in the comments says trusting Zach. Like, listen, I trust Zach. Like, that's not the issue. The issue is people inside HBO Max almost, yeah, like all the problem, and almost like that was a total disrespect to us fans. Like, why else would you retweet that? unless you're basically telling us, hey, Snyder fans, stop retweeting. We don't care. It's not going to happen. So you might as well just give up. Okay, well, if that's the case, then guess what? We're going to unsub and we're just going to chill over at Netflix with Zack Snyder, and we're going to support his movie, and we're going to support Army of the Dead, and we're not going to come back. So you can keep your Godzilla vs. Kong and your trash 84s and your trash Mortal Kombat. That's fine. Have fun. We're just not going to support it. Like that's essentially what they're telling us.
Right, and this really goes back to the whole Flash thing. Like, I really like everything that has been coming out. It as like, even if you put the Ray Fisher stuff aside, like, even with all that that's been going on, if you put that aside, like, I'm still not gonna watch the Flash movie. Like, I'm sorry. No. I really have it, like, with the good conscience in me, with everything that I know, aside from the Ray Fisher stuff, like, I really can't in good conscience watch this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Raul McMillan makes a good point here. He says WB is treating us like a mistress they knocked up and are trying their best to pretend we don't exist.
No, I'll do one better. They're treating us like Broly in Dragon Ball Super Broly, where King Vegeta sends Broly to basically a planetoid to basically be killed, only for Broly to come back and be stronger than ever. Like, that's essentially what they're doing.
Well, I really would like to believe that maybe someday all of the divided amongst us could come together as one for the common good and the common goal that we're all seeking at this point. Because Zeno makes a good point here where he says, was us united a movement or a marketing ploy? Zeno, I really don't know.
Who's the first one to use that?
You know what, Zeno? I really don't care about that question. Because to me, either way, you know what? If it was a marketing ploy, fine. Like, at the end of the day, I still believe it. But as United, like, we could really accomplish wonders. Like, think about this. 3 years ago, people thought that the release of the Snyder Cut movement was a jerk. Was really a joke. It wouldn't happen. Got it.
Right,
But,
and now the same thing is happening. Restore the Snyderverse. We're being looked at like we're a joke. It's the same. It's history repeating itself over again. Except this time, it's going to be even worse because now we're just straight up being. We're like, at this point, we're just the butt of the joke because it's just like they're not even hiding the fact that they think we're clowns, because what they're doing is not only are they perpetuating that, but they don't even have the decency to come out and tell us, you know what, you guys were right. You campaigned for the Snyder Cut. It was a massive success. It brought us a lot of subscribers. You guys were 100% right. And I keep saying over and over again, the main reason why they will not admit that the Snyder Cut is a success, well, it's actually two-pronged. One, because if they admit it's a success, then that means that they were wrong, and that makes them look bad. Number two, also, if they admit it was a massive success and it's ruling HBO Max like we know that it is, that diminishes Godzilla vs. Kong, that diminishes Mortal Kombat, that diminishes all their first-run theatrical movies, and those have to look good for their investment.
Wonder Woman 84. Especially Wonder Woman 84.
Trash 84.
Because that's really the thing. Like, Wonder Woman to them is like the cash cow right now. Wonder Woman to WB right now is a cash cow. You have to remember that. So imagine how they would feel if something they discarded is bigger than their cash cow, which is Wonder Woman. Imagine that.
Yeah. That's a great point.
I think Wonder Woman only did decently well because it was released on holiday season and nobody else had anything.
Well, yeah, Wonder Woman. Yeah, people got to remember Wonder Woman was a Christmas movie. Everybody was home. It was like it couldn't be any more gift wrapped for Wonder Woman 84 to be a success. To take it in a literal.
And you know what? It still didn't crash the servers.
No,
No.
that's just
No.
Crash.
It didn't crash the servers. Like, yo, it's really stupid how it really does feel like it's Game of Thrones, and instead of it, and in place of the Night King, you have the Night Queen in Anne Sarnoff, and facing the whole knights of the whole all of the realms in all of the human realms in Game of Thrones. That's exactly what it feels like.
Well, this is all about ego. Warner Brothers does not want to admit that they fucked up, that they were wrong, which is weird because we just saw Zack Snyder's Justice League, and clearly they were very wrong because that movie was a success, not only a critical success, but the mainstream audience liked it as well. Not just the hardcore fans. Celebrities were tweeting about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League was the most talked about film over the weekend. And come Monday morning, we were all expecting, oh yeah, it's going to get restored, it's hype. And Cerno comes out with that stupid ass article saying, "Nope, it's over." Oh, by the way, the air cut not happening. So even
not happening. Yeah, not happening. So basically, it was Ann Sarnoff putting both middle fingers up and telling us, "Deuces." That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Right. It really does make me. It really does make me so stupid about this. My thing is this. If I'm looking at all this fanfare going on for a whole weekend and seeing that the HBO Max service crashed at around midnight, let's get this straight to the point. At around midnight, where Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, let me put that into perspective. That means in the late, with all of these time zones, you had some people at 1 a.m, 2 a.m, 3 a.m, up wanting to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League at the same time Zack Snyder's Justice League first came out.
Exactly.
You had people waiting. You had some people waiting sometimes all night to see Zack Snyder's Justice League, to be one of the first people to see Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it crashed.
Yeah. I mean that tells you. Basically, Jeffrey, that tells you all you need to know. And this is a great comment here. If Army of the Dead comes out and becomes Netflix's most streamed film for Netflix in its opening week, pressure will mount on HBO Max and Warner Media because pressure will come from investors. I agree. I think that's kind of our trap door. If we make Army of the Dead the massive success that we know it's going to be, that is going to put the positive spotlight once again on Zack Snyder. And again, it's just another win for Zack. So we've got to take it. We've just got to take it like that. It's another win. Like Johnny and I have been saying, the path to more Zack Snyder is through Army of the Dead. It doesn't matter if it's with DC or whatever. We want Zack Snyder to continue to thrive as a filmmaker. And I don't know. I'm kind of in the minority here, but I think that Zack should stay the hell away from that toxic work environment at Warner Brothers and go work for companies that are going to appreciate him, appreciate his talent. Let Walter Hamada continue to fry the burgers in the back and do whatever it is he does while we sit here and say, $200 super chat. Thanks, bro. I mean, for real.
Right. And this is really this. And you want to know what? Speaking of Army of the Dead, there's actually a trending event that's going to be happening on May 2nd. So be ready for that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
What's the trending event?
Yeah, Geralt of Rivia, Geralt of Rivia guy had sent out a trending event for May 2nd about Army of the Dead, and I will, and best believe I'm gonna tweet the fuck out of Army of the Dead.
Oh yeah, we're definitely,
especially now.
Yeah. Especially now, we have no reason. That's the thing. We have no reason but to. We have one. This is the thing. This is one thing that I think everybody is going to be thinking, regardless of anything else in the fan base as a whole. All we want is for Zach to be successful. I think everybody can agree on that.
Yep.
And if that's the case, we just have to make sure that that's what happens. Look. I was willing to, fans are very forgiving, and I was willing to forgive Warner Brothers. I would have been willing to even watch the Flash movie. Hell, I would have went to see the Robert Pattinson Batman movie, and y'all know how I feel about that movie.
Yeah.
But at this point, you can count me out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just the reality of the situation. I mean, the Snyderverse doesn't have to get restored. Fine, but that means that Warner Brothers doesn't have to get any more of my money either. And I know I'm not the only one who feels that way.
Yep. Yeah. And Truth actually pointed this out during his live stream that really I'm really starting to envy Marvel fans. I really am.
Yeah, they get everything. They get everything they want. They get everything they want. Whatever,
Yeah.
They get everything they want. They get. Okay, here's the thing. They get 2 crappy TV shows that nobody asked for, and now they're just like the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, my God, who would have thought? Who would have thought that there was going to be another Captain America movie?
Yeah.
Right. And really, that. Let's go deeper into that. You can really say whatever you can say whatever you want about Marvel and about the MCU in my book. They're basically the same movies, all over, yada yada yada.
I'm gonna let you in. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, Jeffrey. Right now, live here today. Yesterday, I binge watched WandaVision. I had never watched it. In fact, really? I watched 2 episodes, and because I'm so fed up and frustrated with WWE and what they're doing, I binge watched all of WandaVision. And when it was over, I sat there and I said to myself, you know what? That wasn't really all that bad. That was better. That was better than I thought it was going to be. Not to mention all of the homages to Zack Snyder they did during that fight with the two visions.
Yep. And really, you want to know what the funny thing is? I've actually been playing the Spider-Man Miles Morales game right now. This whole
thing is gonna backfire on WWE so horribly. Right. And it's like the irony is that they're chasing after Marvel, and what's going to end up happening is Zach and Zach's fan base are going to end up over at Marvel. Isn't that something?
And you want to know about the funny thing about that is, apparently rumor on the street is Kevin Feige is actually interested in wanting Zach to do a Ghost Rider movie. Bro, if that happens, then dude, it's gonna be a hilarious day to see to see what Warner Brothers thinks about that. Hey,
I
Phil.
agree. I agree with you. And with that, we have to welcome a very special guest, a gentleman who is a great, great friend of mine, one of my greatest friends in life, Mr. Sil Abdul. How are you, brother?
What's up, Zod? Just got to come through. What's up to the panel, Jeff, Carlos, everybody in the shadows? Just quite simply, just want to say, fuck Scott Porch or wherever his name is, that journalist, whatever this shitty platform, whatever he writes for. Okay, because people gotta understand. I know people that's been in the journalist industry over 30 years, so they call a snake out when they see him. Zod, you know Scott Mendelson. He's actually confirmed on the payroll of Toby Emmerich. Right, when Toby Emmerich wants to put out a hit piece, he hits up Scott Mendelson and Forbes. Right, so we're gonna see for sure, who this Scott Porch guy is. For sure, but
he's probably Scott Porch is probably a burner account for Scott Mendelson.
He doesn't work for HBO Max, does he? Is he an employee for HBO Max and Warner Brothers? I haven't seen him. That's not in his bio.
Nah, that's not him. That's not. He's a writer for I think the Decipher or some crappy online site that I never really look at.
The Decipher, the Decipher. So in other words. It's on the same level as we got this covered in Screen Rant, right?
Dude, it's a joke. All right, it's a joke because it's a spin. Check the spin on what he said. I posted exactly his paragraph where he said that the top 3 was Wonder Woman 84, Mortal Kombat, Godzilla vs. Kong, right? And then he tried to say they were all big budget films. Mortal Kombat, I think people know, was under $60 million to be made. That wasn't big budget. Yeah, it was like, get your facts right first if you're a real journalist. And then he says he has this mysterious source. Everybody hates sources, right? Everybody hates that word source, mysterious
exclusives.
Sources. But you know what I'm saying? But what does he say? He says, Warner Media exec told what Warner Media? What exec? What exec? You see what I'm saying? He's better off not even saying that line. Just say, I heard. Okay, you just heard. Okay, we know that spin, right?
Yeah,
guys, I don't know if this is true, but TJ says that Scott Porch actually works for the Daily Beast.
Who else does he work for? Fuck them too.
And you want to know what I find really funny about that? Like really, like no one knew who the Scott Porch guy was. And now he's getting ratioed to the.
He asking for it though. He can't.
They're making him popular. They're making him relevant by quote tweeting him and saying all this stupid shit. If you don't want to make him relevant, if you don't want to make him like part of this whole community, just ignore him. Just ignore him.
He's
don't fucking ratio him. Don't quote tweet him. Don't do any of that stupid shit. Just ignore him.
What's cool was that HBO Max. What was that? That inside HBO Max. They retweeted it at first, and then they removed the retweet. Apparently. Because of the blowback.
Well, it's too late. It's too late because the backlash, the damage has already done, and the backlash has.
Yeah, but why do it in the fucking first place?
Right.
That's the thing I don't get.
Right.
Backlash, then don't fucking do that stupid shit at all.
And here's something we got somebody saying, don't cancel you guys. It's a hoax. Well, I don't know if it's a hoax or not, but I'll tell you one thing. It's pretty. It looks pretty bad right now.
Garage, I'm gonna talk to you real quick. Does it matter that it's a hoax? Because you have to ask that question. Does that matter that it's a hoax? If my thing is this: if it's a hoax, fine. But my thing is this: for those who take it seriously, they will take drastic measures, and I already know people have canceled their HBO Max subscription.
Yeah.
Mind you, I told you, I actually DM'd you saying I did not, but I'm still leaving that tweet out that I basically said people are going to take drastic measures to prove a point. And what's happening right now is people are showing you what is going on. People are canceling HBO Max to prove a point.
But who gives a shit if it's a hoax? I don't get what the fuck. Like I'm not fucking 5 years old. Either restore this shit or don't. That's it. That's all I want to fucking.
That's all.
That's what it's about.
Sources or exclusives. Either say the shit or you're not. You're either gonna restore this or you're not. Don't waste my fucking time. So in the
meantime,
people are gonna fucking unsub.
I
It's a
agree.
hoax.
And Barcy makes one of the greatest points here. It doesn't matter if it's spin. In my opinion, HBO retweeted. They showed their true colors.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Wow, man.
Exactly.
It's a hoax.
We don't need if this is what we're getting from our so-called friends over at HBO Max. We don't need them. They're not friends.
Right. And you want to know what the messed up part is? People will spin this and spin the internet backlash on this, and because you know it's gonna happen. And my thing is this: like, I am more frustrated in the sense of Ann Sarnoff calling us toxic, where when you go to Jason Kilar and when Ann Sarnoff got first promoted to head of WB, there we were actually congratulating her, saying, "Yeah, good job. Congrats on the promotion and stuff." Like we
wrote her letters. We wrote her letters, Jeffrey. We wrote her letters.
Right.
I wrote that scumbag Walter Hamada a 5-page letter. I wasted half my weekend writing that scumbag a letter.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
That was back when we did the letter writing campaign.
Right.
I don't know, Truth, if you were there. It was a letter writing campaign we did to tell them that we wanted them to release the Snyder cut, and we did a letter writing campaign to Walter Hamada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry off you, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a campaign.
And we did Sarnoff too, because Sarnoff was the dollars, was the Zach dollars. The
Gotcha.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's just so disheartening, man. I mean, guys, it's crazy.
Yeah, like Ron McCain, like I really do feel used too. Like at this point, I really do feel used in the sense of like we gave you our money and we gave you all of this positive stuff. Yet you're still giving us the fuck you symbol. Like, you know what I mean? It's like we've been used.
The fuck you symbol.
Yeah. It's like it does. You feel dirty when you see it. You feel dirty when you see that type of tweet. When you see that type of tweet, you feel like, man, I need a shower when you see that, because you're like, man, this is so unprofessional. Like, are you serious? This is what you are resorting to?
That?
Like
the tweet said literally, sorry, Snyder Bros. You know, haha. He got his fucking face.
Yeah. Sorry, Snyder Bros. $200 super chat. Thank you, bro.
It's like, what? Are we serious? And they retweeted though.
Yeah,
we just can't. I just can't get enough.
Man.
It's like they're gonna. You know what this is? This is all a conspiracy to turn all of us into the world's biggest Marvel fans, because that's what they're trying to do. They're like trying to get us to the point.
No other company's doing this shit, Zod. No other company is fucking up this bad. It makes no sense.
It's like oh, this is part of Disney's plan to take over the world. Everybody will be DC. We'll have turned on DC. We'll all be Marvel fans, and we'll all just accept whatever Marvel does. Zack Snyder will go over and do a Ghost Rider movie, and we'll love it. It'll just be like, well,
I hope Feige calls Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
I hope, because people was mad when that story came out. Like, oh no, it's like, no, you know what, Zack, leave them. Or go to Netflix. Do anything but work with them right now. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
I mean, at Netflix, he can really run the gamut. They got Dark Horse. They got all of Mark Millar stuff. He could do some really, really gritty, dark superhero shit for them and blow both Marvel and DC out of the water and make Netflix the name, which is what I'm really banking on. Yeah, or do his own stuff.
Yeah, just make up characters and go wild. You know?
Yeah. We'll all love it. We'll all love it because he'll just deconstruct everything like he always does, and it'll be exactly what we want. Man. I mean,
Netflix gave him a fucking Army of the Dead universe. The movie hasn't even fucking released yet. and already has the universe.
Yeah.
Fucking
You're gonna have an anime, a TV
It don't make
show.
sense, Truth, does
You
it?
want to know what the fun part is?
It doesn't
You want
make
to
sense.
know what you want to
Makes
know
no
what the fun part
sense.
is? You want to know what about the fun part is? The anime prequel is the Army of Thieves is coming out this year. Like
Next
it's
year.
actually done.
I think the
It's coming out this year.
When the prequel comes out this year, they
Yeah.
produce and someone else directed. I thought the anime was next year. But that's cool if it comes out this year. I'm keeping my Netflix subscription. I upgraded to 4K.
Oh,
Netflix got my
I
money.
love Netflix.
They got my money.
Yeah, I'm not ever letting Netflix go because Netflix actually respects their filmmakers. Netflix will stand behind the filmmaker even if they don't agree with the filmmaker. You gotta love Netflix. And y'all know what controversy I'm talking about too. Netflix, they will back up their filmmakers. And that's something that Warner Brothers does not do.
If Feige calls Zack Snyder, I'm saying everybody's gonna be watching that movie. If Feige calls him, I hope
Ghost
it's true.
Rider would be lit, dude. Like I would just take my money.
Yeah, I hope it's true.
Even if they don't get Nicolas Cage back, take my money. I want to see that.
Barcy, I think, is echoing a lot of sentiments right now. She says they bullied us for months. They called us toxic. Today was the last straw for me. Yes, exactly.
I don't blame you.
Yes. And that's
I want to see this fucking universe continue. That's fucking toxic.
You don't
give y'all more money.
You
That's
don't
toxic, bro.
You don't spit in my face and then turn around and ask me for money every month. Get out of here.
And that's really the thing. Like, to me, Varsity, this is the last straw for me too, because I've actually said this at the beginning of this. I told Till in the DMs, like I haven't been mad in years. Like I've been frustrated, I've been cold and stuff, but I have never been this pissed off. Like I really haven't been this pissed off in years.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, HBO Max is included with my Spectrum, right? So it's like, dang, like, if I cancel, it's like it's just gonna sit there, right? But I'm gonna buy the physical media of the Snyder Cut, because I'm still watching it on HBO Max. But once I get the physical media, I don't need to watch it on HBO Max anymore. So that's my game.
See, that's the best part. That's the best part. Now, one way I was thinking still that they could really screw us is if they announce that there's no plans for a physical media release of Zack Snyder Justice League.
Bro, I'll be done, man. I'll be done. Like, you motherfuckers, y'all take the physical media away. Let's just be honest. If they want to curb all of this, that'd be what they'll be like. They'll be like, well, you know what? We just fucking call Zack Snyder right now.
We ain't gonna be pressing any more of those disc thingies.
Fucking bullshit.
I'm telling you, man, it's ridiculous. Now, the Ghost Who Walks says, y'all may disagree with me, but Feige is savvy. If Disney bought DC tomorrow, I guarantee that Feige would restore the Snyderverse. Netflix would do the same.
Exactly.
WB's competent. That's a beautiful point.
You know,
Feige would turn around. He'd restore the Snyderverse. He'd let Zack do whatever he wanted to do before they turned around and made that Marvel versus
Feige's
DC
already
movie.
restoring the Netflix Marvel. Like, if you want to believe the sources saying Charlie Cox is back, Michael Coulter's supposed to come back, John Bernthal, everyone except Finn Jones. I'll just say he wants to bring everyone.
No Iron Fist.
What's wrong with
What's gonna be a new Iron Fist and Shang-Chi Part 2, reportedly. So if that's what Feige is thinking, like, hey, this worked on Netflix, best believe if they bought DC, he'd be like, okay, Snyderverse worked. I'm going to bring it over here. So
another thing too is during BVS when that was coming out, Feige, Sebastian Stan, a lot of Marvel big ups, they were supported the hell out of the film, and Zack. They were doing a lot of good,
and that's really
good promo for it.
Right, and that's really the thing. Like, let's go to BVS. Since we're on BVS, the BVS and with Marvel topic, let's go there. IGN, the Russo brothers in an interview stated that Civil War wasn't greenlit until BBS was announced.
Oh yeah, that's the whole
Like
The
to me,
Russo brothers,
that's to me, that
Russo
really
brothers tweeted out
says-
about it.
Yeah, and that's really the thing to me. Like you know what? Oh wow, that's actually pretty funny. I just imagining right now with Kevin Feige looking at this tweet and looking at the Twitter backlash with hashtag restore the Snyder Bears and
Call
the
Zach
HBO Max backlash, and he's rubbing his hands together with a grin.
This is a good point about Zeno, Zod. That's a real good point.
Yeah, that's why I put it up here. Zeno says, don't think I've ever seen any Netflix affiliate talk down to their disappointed customers over one of their canceled shows.
Like cuties.
Netflix tries to reassure people. And not only that, Netflix will give you a reason if they have to cancel something. They'll say, well, we had to cancel it because of this, or whatever. And even when they cancel it, they try to make it up to the fans in some way. It's insane.
That cutie situation, right? Everyone saw the blowback of cuties where everyone was boycotting Netflix.
And
they
Netflix
just stayed quiet. They said
Netflix stood behind Netflix stood behind their director too.
Yeah,
they stood behind the filmmaker.
A festival winner. They said
it may have been a bad movie, but they stood behind the filmmaker. And that's something that WB doesn't do.
And they weren't attacking people on Twitter. Netflix wasn't saying, "Oh, you toxic," because you don't want to see this. It was a Sundance film festival winner, so that's why they was pushing it on Netflix. They paid a lot of money, not a lot of money, but a good part of money for cuties. So they was gonna ride that out, but they didn't attack the fans.
And you also gotta remember this, like you gotta remember this, like YouTube, right? You gotta remember. Let's go to Cobra Kai. Let's talk about Cobra Kai real quick. Cobra Kai, for those who haven't been like Cobra Kai OGs or whatever, like Cobra Kai originally started as YouTube Red. Like that was kind of like their Game of Thrones that everyone loved. And I guess for some reason, YouTube Red got it canceled, probably because of budget issues.
They weren't paid no more.
But they canceled it for some reason, most likely because of budget issues. Then Netflix scooped it up and then brought it to them. So
they're already shooting season 4 right now, or they probably done already.
It's done. Like it's done right already. Like so, really, like people say, like I know Sil said that on Twitter that Disney Plus has a good chance of beating Netflix. I'm telling you right now,
catching up. I never said no. Netflix is king of streaming. Yeah,
but
Disney Plus has the best chance to catch him though. Yeah,
but like if I'm telling you right now, if Netflix were to buy DC, Netflix
game over.
If Netflix were to buy DC, they wouldn't be a king anymore. They'd essentially be the god of streaming.
Yeah,
that's essentially
thanks for playing. That's all I gotta say. Disney better buy Sony. They better
all right, TJ, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here, man. You're awesome. Thank you so much for being here, TJ.
Yeah,
and I agree with you guys. I don't think it's even a question of if they picked up DC, because that would be actually the smartest thing that AT&T could do right now. After Army of the Dead is a massive success, turn around and just don't even sell it to them. Gift it to them. Say, you guys can do a better job than we do. We don't know what we're doing with this. Here, take it. Take it and do something with it.
You're going to get this next film slate, and actually, Coffee Talk tomorrow, me and Edward Lauder's going to talk about this. You're going to get this next film slate. You'll get your Homodiverse. Now, once that fails by 2023, then we'll...
And make no mistake, Sil. Make no mistake. It's going to fail. Massively. It's going to fail.
That wheels of the Flash multiverse and the
let me tell you right now. Still, let me tell you right now, that's late. It's not gonna happen because knowing WB, they're gonna be the reactionary studio that they are, and then they're gonna change their plan again.
Bro, if they do that, they filming right now.
It's
Like,
not
if they
gonna
do
happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. What happens if the Flash film fails? What happens then? Are they going to reboot everything again? I'm genuinely asking. I really want to know.
That's the whole question. That's the $1 million question.
That's the launch.
What do you do if the Flash fails? What do you do then?
You don't know what to do.
You bet everything on that.
Because that's the thing. You got Michael Keaton returning. Can you imagine if Michael Keaton? Can you imagine if a returning Michael Keaton to Batman movie fails? That's when you know you messed up. Like, dude, I'm really mad right now. I'm really mad.
All right. There are rumors that broke out that Warner Brothers has apparently asked Matt Reeves to cut scenes or shorten the Batman movie. Okay. All right. You got to get number one. You got to consider the source. This is coming from who? This is coming from Dave, the $200 super chat film junkie. Thanks, bro. Is that who this is coming from?
You know what? Wait,
I don't know.
Wait, you know what? Like, bet money that's true. Like,
it's cool. Like, I haven't heard that yet, but like, if that comes around to me, I'll definitely do a video on it.
Bet money is true because I know this. There's a longer cut of Godzilla vs. Kong for people who wanted the more human characters like me. Like, there's actually more context to what was going on in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, they cut down
more
movies.
context with what happened in Mortal Kombat. So I'm not really shocked if this is true.
About that, Zeno, DC doesn't give a shit about Vertigo. Lucifer's a Vertigo book. They seem to just throw those properties out to whoever wants to buy them. Netflix has got a bunch coming out at Netflix. They got Sandman, they got Sweet Tooth, and I think 100 Bullets is still in production at Netflix. So yeah, there's a bunch of Vertigo stuff that's going to be coming out. That
Neil Gaiman Sandman gonna be dope.
Yeah, and Warner Brothers are idiots for not keeping that on their streams because these are huge.
No plans.
Well, once again, we could just add that to the. We could add that to the L
That's
column.
gonna be a smash hit on Netflix.
I mean, Sandman's it's one of the few comic books that have ever won a Pulitzer Prize, and yeah, let's just go ahead and put the adaptation of that on our enemy stream. Beautiful thinking there, brothers. Beautiful thinking.
Classic
Snyder,
WB.
Snyder, Steppenwolf, good for you, man. I don't mean to offend you, and I'm not trying to offend anybody that likes Dave, but I feel like the guy is a little bit shady at times, and I like to call him out when I think he does something stupid.
I have no
just
beef
me.
with any content creator unless they come at me.
And that's the thing. I don't have anything personal against the man, but if I think it's something goofy, I'm going to call it out. And that's just how I feel about it. I mean, it's nothing personal, so, I mean, that's cool. $200. Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Dad, you owe me money for that. Every time you mention that, you owe me money.
Truth. You really made me happy when you said that. That was like the highlight of that stream that you did. I was like, you know what?
Truth was on a rampage, man. He was going at everybody.
Truth was on a tear.
I heard about Truth,
and I love. I just love it. But with all that being said, I do want to welcome Lord Koj to the panel. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up? I'm good to be here, just catching up.
So this one time I can catch you for my stream. Okay, I'm gonna do a late night stream.
So Jay, what do you think about this mess?
What mess? I just got here.
Wow! So you don't know?
I don't know. I got off work, man. You tell me.
So HBO Max retweeted a tweet saying that was bashing the Snyder Cut fans.
I'm shocked but not surprised. What's this?
Yeah, they basically
tag me or something. I want to see this shit.
They belittled us. They belittled us. Basically, we're basically just clowns, and the Godzilla versus Kong, Mortal Kombat.
No, they're trying to
and
write that they
Modern
belittle
Warfare.
us. It's on writing. We're on the highest mountain. They're trying to belittle us. They're trying. Do not let them.
Barcelona B
look at the movies that they're putting it up against. I mean, like, these all came out in, like, when you finally have the theaters open and you actually have box office numbers to show me, then try to be rah-rah about what a film made. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's an agenda. That's all this is, an agenda. AT&T on their first quarter little recap thing, they tried to push GVK, all these numbers, like it did so great. It didn't. It didn't do great on streaming. It probably
everybody
barely
I know
beat
watched it
184.
because there was nothing else on that weekend. It came out on Friday, and everybody
Exactly.
was just like, "What else are we gonna do, man? Let's watch the monkey fight the lizard."
Nah.
Good
And
time.
apparently it came out a day.
Yeah, the pro
it came
wrestling,
out-
baby.
I think
CML.
GVK. I gotta double check this for my numbers, people.
I still
but
haven't seen Godzilla.
It came out.
versus Kong,
It came
so
out
I
like
can't
early in the
relate.
week, right?
I know,
They
we
tried
all
to say
did.
it had a better weekend than the Snyder Cut, but it had an extra day, more than the Snyder Cut. It's all an agenda. That's the whole point.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't
I'll have
know
that on my next
that.
coffee talk tomorrow.
I didn't know
Yeah, Sil. Always with the great coffee talk. Barcy says here, if the Batman is 1 hour, I'll legit scream and cry. I'm
bro.
manifesting
You know what?
every
You know
day
what? I'll
on
go
Twitter
deeper
for
than
no
that.
studio interference.
I'll go deeper than that. Imagine Dune being 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Oh no, Doom! They ain't fucking
Oh,
with Legendary.
my.
They not
Let's go there.
touching that.
Let's go there.
Doing the way they're not messing with him. They ain't gonna mess with that. film.
For real. Let's go there.
I mean, it'll be funny if it
Lemon.
happens. I would want them to fail. Yeah, But
like
they
let's
messing
go
up with
there.
that.
I'm like, for real. After today, anything is possible.
Nuts.
Let's face it.
Was it the top 3 that people are parading or whatever?
Mortal Kombat 84 and
Mortal Kombat, Wonder Woman 84.
Okay, I did see
and
something
Godzilla
like
vs.
that.
Kong.
GVK.
Yeah.
I was really offended. I mean, those
It's
who
an
put that
agenda.
out- When I
Wallace
saw it,
Wonderland
and saw the
isn't on that
I was
list,
like,
so it's bullshit. A real list, Wally's Wonderland would be on it. Everybody knows that.
Hey, but Kojay, what was the top 3 last week before Mortal Kombat came out? You see what I'm saying? If those are the real numbers, you see what I'm saying?
it's
They
like, why are
wait
they saying it
until-
now?
Right.
Why now?
Nuts, man.
Where were you when we were asking? Like the next day.
Hey, Mortal Kombat,
They're quick to talk about. They're being quick to talk about what a success Mortal Kombat was. But okay, so why do we get to hear about that, but we don't get to hear about the Snyder Cut?
Yeah.
What happened with the Snyder Cut?
I got no beef with Mortal Kombat. And I know Kojay got
like-
beef with Mortal Kombat, but I'm just saying I got no beef with that's a low budget action film.
I got a
Trying
lot
to
of
build a
people.
universe. I know you do.
I
But
do
like
too.
that is what it is. But
Hashtag
don't put that on the Snyder Cut.
coleslaw.
Don't put it-
Dude, Cole, I don't know. I really don't get the
Hey,
hate
that's
for
the first
Cole.
person that had plot body armor. That's what
Yes,
Tim
yes.
Tap told me that.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
that.
he literally had plot armor. In the film.
He had not body armor on it, dude.
Yo,
That's all he had.
He had like Aquaman armor on. It's like,
no,
Not
not just that.
armor. Boom,
Not-
he got armor.
Not just that. Everyone has a power, a projectile, or a weapon. And what does Cole get? Protection.
Plot armor.
So technically,
Plot armor.
he's the only dude with a diaper and all the bumpers pulled up when he goes bowling.
Like,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and he doesn't
pull your big boy pants up, Cole, and don't forget to use your uppercut.
Oh man.
He doesn't even use his redirecting ability. He only uses it once for the weakest uppercut I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And they job Gordo. Is it Gordo?
Job Goro, like horrible.
Yeah.
Barcy handles it perfect here. She says, as a casual who has never seen the movies or played the games, the movie was trash. Almost fell asleep.
I should know. Darcy was in the watch party with Nicotina and us.
Oh, okay.
We were on it. It was
It's
a
entertaining.
slog. It was a slog.
Oh yeah.
Was Stryker in the movie?
Really,
No,
the
No.
only good
No,
part.
Stryker.
Look,
That
look,
sucks.
no tournament.
I'll be honest. The only
Alright.
good part.
No Johnny Cage.
I'll be honest. The only good parts were really
Sub-Zero.
the two biggest. The only good parts for Mortal Kombat for me, and this is coming from a Mortal Kombat fan, was really the first 7 minutes and the final battle with Cole.
So you're just saying
with Cole.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yeah,
That was
like
the best
those,
part.
like those,
You only got like 10 minutes of them. Okay.
And sometimes Kano. But other than that,
Yeah,
like,
Kano was dope. Yeah.
how can we say that? Oh, the first 7 minutes were good. We already saw that. I mean, like it's good.
Kung
yeah,
Lao
like,
was dope too. Y'all can't go on. It was parts of the film that's
well,
cool.
do we care
All right,
about
Ralph McMillan. So what you're basically
Yeah.
saying is that Mortal Kombat was medaled with 2. Big surprise!
Louis Tan confirmed it. Yeah, Louis Tan confirmed it.
I'm noticing a pattern here with WB.
I'm just based on the merits, even if there was an extended, even if there was a Mortal Kombat cut, like
It would have made a difference.
I don't think, to be honest, I don't think 20 minutes can make a difference.
No.
Coleslaw.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Trash.
I'll fight you on that one. I'll fight you on that one because imagine this: a lot of people said that for BVS, 30 minutes wasn't enough.
That's the
for
thing.
BVS.
At least the theatrical version of BVS was a somewhat of like it was
Yeah,
much more of a competent movie.
You saw
and much more of
yeah.
a clear vision.
I'll agree
All
on
right.
that.
And it's a bigger budget movie. You can't really compare. But Mortal Kombat was trash for even what it was trying to do, man.
I still give it a 3 out of 5. I still give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, they should have a
10.
blood code mode where they put in some blood, a couple extra like scenes from the fights, and that's about all. They should probably do with like
Blood
an
code.
extended version,
Blood code.
like the Abacab version of the cut of the movie. Just put that out.
Louis Tan said they cut out some of the fight. I want to see more of the Liu Kang versus Cabal fight. I thought that was an interesting fight. You know, so they cut.
That's cool.
Yeah, they cut some fights.
They had Reiko, but they made him just a brawling brute with the giant hammer.
That wasn't
Like,
Reiko.
you know,
That was
it's like-
Riku, bro. That was Riku.
So-
that wasn't Reiko.
So it's like
They
the
did him wrong.
second movie. Like they show like Ermac and shit, but don't ever let him do
No. There was no Ermac.
Really, what did Raiden even do? Like,
Ra-
really,
Raiden
what
was
did Raiden
the
even do?
worst.
Like, he was the jerk
Yeah.
in the entire movie.
Raiden
You couldn't even understand what he was saying half the time. It was just, it was like mumbling to himself.
But that's the problem. You're introducing all these characters with no character development. Who the fuck are all these people? Who's writing?
Who's all these people?
You know who had the most
Who's
development? Kano had the most
Kano,
development in the
yeah,
entire
Kano.
film.
Like that one scene.
Kano was the main character next to Cole.
Right, and that's really the thing. Like that one scene where Cabal and Kano are talking to each other is really the most character development for any character we've gotten.
But
And his
also,
conversation with Kong Lao as well.
Also,
Kano had the most development. Yeah.
Yeah, Kano had the most development, and
The
that's
biggest-
really kind of like the messed up part about it. Like you had basically Raiden, who essentially is kind of like the exposition machine for the Mortal Kombat lore, and he really didn't explain anything.
Look, I kid you not. Look, the plot contrivances and the conveniences were so great with this. Just on the Raiden situation right now, Raiden is supposed to be the god of thunder. Okay, get it? He's above mortal behavior and temptation. Okay, and this guy he's like, this is what I have to work with. Oh, we're all screwed.
Oh,
You literally a god that sees partly into the future,
Yeah, right.
and you have
Right.
you have foresight, and like you know that the prophecy is true, and that the prophecy says that Earthrealm will win. You know,
Right,
Right.
and not only that,
There was nothing to worry about
and
if
not
you're
only-
rating.
so
and-
he should
and
be
not
calm
only
and collected
that-
and be like he should be
Wait,
giving out.
but-
No.
Hey, but hey, some of y'all gonna die, but we
wait,
still gonna
let's
win.
go deeper than that. Let's go deeper into that scene where he says, "Oh, we're screwed." He says that not only knowing about the prophecy, but also goes out of his way where the chosen one is there, looking right in front of him, and then for the strike number 3, tells the chosen one, you know what? Go home. Like,
That's what he did.
And then he says, like let me just teleport all of us to the void, the place between the realms, okay, where Shang Tsung can't hurt us. Oh, and you know what? Also, I have the power to banish anybody to any destination I want to.
Yep.
So
Yep.
how about Raiko? You go to the bridge where you know the spikes are at the bottom, and you fight Jax there. Okay, and you know I'll send Kano and Sonya back to her house and stuff like that. And it's like, and if you hear Cole as the weakest protagonist ever, and who just learned about this stuff literally hours ago, and now he's calling the shots, and Raiden's like, yo, it's not like I'm a god for 1,000 years, and you know, like
you're the chosen one, bro.
Let's hear what you have to say, Cole. Okay, Cole, and I kid you not, this is the line word for word. Cole was like, Sonya, you take Kano. You fought him before, but be careful. He has a laser, so watch out for that. Like we didn't know that.
Cole
That
was like,
the line of dialogue.
The line was Sonya, you fought Kano before, so you take him on, but be careful. Watch out. He has a laser.
Cole was literally the Rey
right there. That's like
she was Rey. He was Rey for Rise of Skywalker.
Oh my god, that pretty much what Coleslaw was.
Right.
The first, and Zeno says here, guys, the first debut movie in years should not have been a glorified preview prologue for a second movie.
That's essentially what it was. Yeah, that's essentially what it was, because I've actually because really this is actually something that I actually did do digging on, and and apparently this is what happened. Apparently the tournament didn't happen. And this was just stopping Shang Tsung from breaking the rules. That's essentially what this movie
stop the
was.
Tournament, right?
Essentially, this is like the beginning. It was like, hey, let's find the fighters. Oh, Shang Tsung is breaking the rules. Let's stop him. What are we gonna do? Okay, let's go find the fighters. It's like kind of staying in the circle. Yeah. Also, by the way, back on the Shang Tsung thing.
Right, like it's essentially
they screwed up with Shang Tsung. No, not Shang Tsung. Raiden. Raiden's powers are limited to Earth. He has no power in Outworld. How can he send people to a bridge in Outworld?
Right,
he's limited by the laws of the Elder Gods.
Yeah,
but we don't know that.
Lord. Good thing that this thing ended up getting released on
audience. Like the only people who know that are the fucking like the hardcore fans.
Isn't this the same? Isn't this the same writer?
They disregarded that, Truth.
This was the same writer from Wonder Woman 84, wasn't it? I think it's the same writer.
That explains a lot. That explains a lot.
That explains a lot, right? Oh no. This is
a writer of Wonder Woman 84.
We're in trouble.
And
one of the writers.
Yeah, so so like I said, I don't think 20 minutes can save this movie. But there's some things we could have started with. Like, how about you actually introduce us to the tournament and actually understand the stakes and what's at play here?
There was no tournament. We didn't get a tournament.
I heard a good fix, and it like partly was to add a history lesson scene from Zack Snyder's Justice League, but it was a previous tournament. And then you could bring in the characters that we're probably never going to see again, that nobody cares about. Of course people care about them, but we just can't flesh them out. So bring in Chameleon, bring in freaking Tremor, bring in
Ermac. Imagine making a Kombat movie with no tournament.
You want to know when I thought we were actually going to get a history lesson scene. Like when we were seeing all of those labs of past tournaments, I thought we were gonna get the history lesson scene there. That was the monologue by Sonya Blade.
Throw in a Tarkatan, throw in freaking maybe a Revenant. I don't know, something.
But yeah, it's like for Mortal Kombat, more doing it on repeat viewings, it's like, yeah, this is kind of bad.
Well, it's basically about Jack, Sonya, and this Cole kid, right? They should have made the first movie like a brawler game where like they kind of run around and figure shit out, and then have it end with them find out about Mortal Kombat, because originally Street Fighter was supposed to be a spin-off of Final Fight. So Mortal Kombat could have ripped that off, and that would have been a neat way to set up their little film thing, having Cole, Sonya playing Jax, chasing Kano's ass around or something, solving the crimes, finding the dragon's heads or whatever, and then they meet Raiden at the end or something.
This is actually a huge plot hole when you really think about it. How does Sonya Blade know pretty much like, how did the Sonya Blade figure find all this stuff about Mortal Kombat?
Well, she was researching it, like, because
she played the game. It also was chosen too. That was our best friend. Jax was our best friend.
It all started with when Jax defeated that one guy. He killed him, and then he got the tattoo or the brand, and then she noticed that everybody, like a lot of people had.
Yeah, there was another stupid plot device too. It's like brand? The way the brand transfers from one person to the next. Like, who came up with that idea? That's so lame.
Plot device. You know who did? Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Remember, they had the Dragon Crest only from the bloodline of
that movie was so trash. I don't remember nothing from that film.
But they recycled it
through the center of the
earth. I stopped watching it when they killed Johnny Cage.
Hey, if you watch now, compared to that, it's not that bad, probably.
Really?
It's not that bad in comparison to this movie.
I'm playing
right now. The first one looks great right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first one's like a masterpiece. It's like the first Mortal Kombat is like the Snyder cut by comparison at this point. Like, wow.
No, but you can't knock Annihilation entirely. That is the movie that got us Tony Jaa. Tony Jaa broke into like film industry with that film, doing stunts
for real.
Robin Show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Tony Jaa. Look at it again. You'll see some moves that are very like when he does that corkscrew sideways kick on a Tarkatan.
You should have been feeling Sub-Zero in this film though. Like, dude was legit.
I like him.
Yeah.
I like some of the talent and some of the art in this film. The art is really good, and you could. And honestly, I don't know if there is any saving this film because the way it looks, the way it's produced, it looks like it was made from the get-go by a committee. This is a committee film.
A committee movie. And
even if they had longer fight scenes, I personally, as a connoisseur of martial arts stuff, that's my jam. I wasn't happy because there's all this brilliant choreography, all these actors in the film were training for, and the camera angles were like showing you the back of their shoulders while they were doing stuff, and you don't get to see that combo.
Except Sub-Zero, because
Sub-Zero and opening, they did a lot.
I don't know if you get much. And really do explain
the whole budget on the opening.
Right.
I got one more thing to add, though. One good thing to add, though. When they went to the temple, the art on the temple is bomb as shit. They had
the stained glass.
No, it was like on the. Was it? I don't know if it's. I don't know. I'm watching it.
It looked like stained glass.
I thought it was on a wall.
I thought it was like etching.
Right when they entered after Luke came through the door.
It was lit from the back though.
Yeah,
it was as if it was like.
Guess I gotta watch it again.
No,
just don't watch it on HBO Max.
Yo, check this out. But the art on it was actually dope. They had a painting of the first champion, Kung Lao, the bald Kung Lao with the headband, and then the next one was a painting of Dagon and Taven's parents, the king and queen of Edenia, and that was sick.
Katana on one of those too.
No, the lady with the blind.
The hood that goes over.
Yeah, she's the queen of Edenia at one time, ancient times. I don't know if they're related to Katana, but their sons were Taven and Dagon.
Shout out to
that was
Taven and Dagon. I love Mortal Kombat Armageddon Conquest.
Dude, that was
Does Brock show up in the film? Is Brock up in the movie?
Not yet.
No.
I'm hoping he makes coleslaw in Mortal Kombat 2.
Part 2, baby.
But yeah, for real, like Scorpion and Sub-Zero really did make those. Because let's be real. The only reason why people were trying to finish the movie. The Mortal Kombat movie was to get to the Sub-Zero versus Scorpion fight.
I was watching for
let's be real.
To be honest, I didn't even think that one was that good. I mean, it was all right. But
when it
fight
got
was
good,
better.
they would cut away.
But what I mean is, whenever you see Mortal Kombat, the two poster boys
our advertised,
are Scorpion and the Sub-Zero. So a lot of people just wanted to see those two fight. Let's be real. Let's be real.
I want to see everybody fight, man.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, like, if the only good fight scene was really the first 7 minutes. The first 7 minutes were really the only good. That
was the best fight of the movie. Yeah,
that was really the only good fight scene to me.
Seriously? I mean, are you guys being honest right now? The beginning fight is the best one in the whole film.
Did you really not see it?
I haven't seen it yet. No,
I've never seen the movie.
Do you care about spoilers?
Yeah, you need
7 minutes on YouTube, man.
It's a Mortal Kombat movie. Oh, the guy gets killed by. You guys have already told me there's no story to the damn thing. There's no real plot. They don't run through hamster balls through the center of the earth.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining.
I'm gonna watch it. I just haven't.
I mean, okay, here it's at the level of I wouldn't say Van Damme Street Fighter because that one's pretty consistent.
Oh, I love that movie.
That one's
That's
pretty
such
good.
a good one.
But good. I would say this is along the terms of Tekken the movie and DOA the movie. That's where it's at.
Love both those.
It's better than DOA, Coach J.
I'm thinking a lot better, but DOA is fun just for
DOA.
the girl fights.
DOA is trash.
No,
see what I'm saying?
I think it's this bad. I think it's
That's how you really feel, bro.
I think honestly, I think it's on the same level as
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
All right. No, I think
Annihilation is better. I will say that.
No, I think the Mortal Kombat movie is on the same level as the last Airbender movie.
Oh,
yeah, I would say that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I mean like plot. I mean that is the plot. I mean there the plot. Like I think it's like I really do think in terms of plot, it's on the level of the last.
As long as you didn't say the Death Note movie from Netflix, I'm cool. Because the last Airbender movie, at least somebody tried really hard.
Who also was directed by the same guy that directed Godzilla vs. Kong. So let's just put it that way.
Adam Wingard.
You know what? I'll take that. You want to know why? Because at least Godzilla vs. Kong is better than the Death Note movie.
Hey, yeah, dude. Like Kong with the skull with the Soul Calibur axe was excellent, and them fighting in the neon glow city. I mean, sure, the model designs are garbage.
This
and I hated the way
challenges the soul of Kong.
Pretty much. I was feeling with Kong with that axe, man. I was just like, the soul edge right there.
It kind of looks like Astaroth's axe. Oh my god, like or something that he could use.
Hey, I want to run an experiment with you guys. Want to play a game?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I want everyone to tell me their vote. I'll pick Mortal Kombat 2021 versus another movie that's kind of like it in the video game standard, and you tell me which one's better.
Okay, Sonic.
Go around. What do you think? Hey, I'm saying it. You have to.
Sonic's better.
No. Wait. Okay. Mortal Kombat or Legend of Chun-Li?
Mortal Kombat.
Legend of Chun-Li, so I'm just gonna say Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
I say Mortal Kombat too. I never watched.
All right.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
You don't have to watch that Legend of Chun-Li. Don't.
All right. I just want to know what level it's at. All right. Cool. All right. Now, Mortal Kombat and Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
The first one.
Yeah, first one.
Yeah, Resident Evil.
First Resident Evil. Yeah. First Resident Evil.
All right.
I like
So that
all
was
six.
dope.
So yeah, I haven't seen Mortal Kombat yet, but I'm pretty sure I do like Resident Evil better.
That first
I like
one
that he's still
was
voting.
right.
So, all right, Mortal Kombat and Van Damme Street Fighter.
Van Damme Street
I
Fighter.
say Mortal Kombat, y'all. I'm just.
I don't know. Van Damme Street Fighter had better jokes.
Yeah,
That is true.
I should have stayed at Microsoft.
All right, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Annihilation.
Oh, I gotta go with Annihilation.
Nah, I got taken out of that movie early. Nah,
I'm kind of torn.
Mortal Kombat.
2021.
All the way.
All right. Okay, let's go. If you guys are old enough, Mortal Kombat or Super Mario Bros.
Mario Brothers, all dead. It's one of the greatest films ever made.
You know Super Mario's trash. You know that movie.
Oh wow, that's Super Mario Brothers, man. I don't know. That's a cult classic.
You know that movie's trash.
Cult trash.
Okay, next one. Mortal Kombat or Double Dragon?
Double Dragon all day,
Double
every
Dragon.
day. That is the best superhero. That is the best video game movie ever made. Still to this
I
day.
haven't
love
seen
that
that, so Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch Double Dragon because it's been a while for
It's
that
a
one.
masterpiece, dude. Trust me. Like, it's so
Is that
good.
the one? Is that the one with Mark Dacascos?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mark
yeah,
Dacascos and the guy from Party of
That
Five
wolf.
played Jimmy and Jimmy.
Oh wow.
Party
Alright,
of
here's
Five,
another
that
one.
takes me out of it. The guy
Okay,
Party of Five.
All right, Mortal Kombat or the recent Tomb Raider?
The recent Tomb Raider.
I don't know.
Mortal
Tomb Raider was
Kombat.
decent.
The
Yeah.
recent Tomb Raider.
I'll go with Mortal Kombat. The recent
Tie.
Tomb Raider movie was terrible.
Tie.
All right. Okay. Now, drum roll. My last one. Mortal Kombat, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic.
Sonic.
all the way.
Sonic all day, every day.
Sonic all day.
Flawless victory for Sonic.
Sonic was actually a pretty good movie, though.
was a
In
good
general,
movie,
like
yeah.
it's a
Yep.
movie that anybody could sit down and watch. So you really,
Yeah,
They
it was
nailed it with that.
It was tight.
the story was good. It's just that the first design was bad.
That
That's
design,
the way-
it never happened, man. It never happened.
and,
Yeah.
then the fact that they were
We
able,
already did that already.
and then the fact they were able to change that design, that was great. They listened
in one month.
to the fans, and look what happened.
That was
game is
Sonic.
cool.
Hey, look, we're just playing.
That was Sonic.
Green Lantern or Mortal Kombat 2020.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Green Lantern all day, every
Green
day.
Lantern.
I'd probably say Green Lantern.
That Green Lantern is so trash.
Green
Come on.
Lantern Extended Edition.
You can't get
Because
through
if you're
that movie.
drinking,
True.
it's all right.
I can't watch Mortal Kombat 2021. The movie made no fucking sense. Trash ass film. And why the fuck was Scorpion brought into hell after he died? Like he fucking disappeared.
What's the
And was
lore?
brought, like why? It made no fucking sense. Is he a
Oh, yeah,
demon?
I
they-
was expecting my boy
that's
Quan
the
Chi to
lore.
show up. You'd be like, now you're mine.
Yeah, why didn't they bring in Quan Chi? They like totally skipped the scene where he's in hell
You
all
could
the
take Cole
Bet
out
money
of the
Quan
whole
Chi is in
thing.
the extended
Yeah.
cut. Bet money Quan Chi is in the extended cut.
No.
Yo,
He's the
what
dark
if we
side. Bet money dark side. Bet money Quan Chi is the dark side equivalent of the Mortal Kombat movie.
Why
He
would
was
Quan Chi
cut
be
out-
wrong?
I
No, that'd be
believe
Shao
that-
Kahn.
Yeah.
I believe
Shao
that
Kahn, bro.
Quan Chi. I believe that Quan Chi
If
was
anything, Quan Chi is
cut
like
out
the
of the
side.
Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
I believe that Quan Chi was cut out of the Mortal Kombat
Well,
movie.
if you watch that animated Mortal Kombat Scorpion movie that came out last year, you get a lot of greatness that really should have been in the live action.
They kind of
honestly.
take from that story, right, Zod? The beginning, at least.
Yeah, the
Of
beginning.
family getting killed, and but they set up a tournament in that Scorpion film. There was actually
Yeah, and Johnny Cage was in it. So
and Johnny Cage. You gotta have Johnny Cage. You doing Mortal Kombat first film? You gotta have Johnny Cage.
He wasn't
Yeah,
in
that
part
was their
two.
mistake. Instead of fucking Cole, they should have used Johnny Cage as the avatar for the audience. Why
Or
use
they could
fucking
just
unknown
use-
actor?
Either Johnny Cage or Sonya is the POV character.
Ooh, I want to
Wait,
jump on
Sonya
that
was cool.
because wait, yeah, there you are. I want to jump on that because I think if they just took out Cole
wanna jump
entirely
on Sonya
and followed
before-
Sonya Blaze, it already established a story. Like, what if it opens up with like some war
20
scene and
additional
then
minutes?
I
Jax,
wouldn't have
you know,
minded
gets
that.
that
Yeah,
guy.
if it was
Follow
through
that.
Sonya Blade. Yeah.
and then use that budget just to hire a Quan Chi for like 5 seconds? That'd be great.
we need
And
Quan
they could
Chi.
give the movie because I feel like the
Apparently.
movie didn't have enough time to breathe and let the actors do their stuff. But I also don't think
Like they didn't
was
even
fast
use like a
edits.
real reptile. They didn't even use a real reptile. They brought in what
I was
Sensoft or whatever. I
disappointed
don't
with
know
that,
whatever
yeah.
that was.
That reptile
I'm like-
part. Yeah.
I remember people were like,
That was an unused. That was an unused Godzilla versus Kong.
Right.
yeah.
Warner Bros. does it.
unused
That
model.
was cycle.
Use mocap.
Yeah.
Mocap.
Carry that
Yeah,
Johnny
that was
Fighter.
good. He's just
Carry that
hungry,
over.
looking for where's Matthew Broderick? Where's that guy? Ah.
And like, look, is it
Paper
me?
monster hungry.
I really just hate how paper thin Shang Tsung's character is.
Oh my god!
And I
Shang
didn't
Tsung was horrible in the movie too, by the way. That was horrible
I want the
acting.
OG Shang
Yeah,
Tsung.
you know what wasn't thin about
and why,
Shang
don't,
Tsung?
why don't they give him a beard? All right, my Shang Tsung has a beard. All right,
He had no
He had a
presence
lot of
in the film
makeup on.
whatsoever.
He had so much
Yeah, I was
makeup.
gonna say.
If I didn't know that was Shang Tsung, I was like, who the fuck is this cross?
He was a pretty Shang Tsung.
What
He had
wasn't
a
thin
pretty
was his
face.
mascara, bro.
Yeah, like, what
His
the fuck is this?
eyeliner was on point.
Like, bro, you ain't sucking my soul.
I need
Pretty.
eyeliner.
I really would have liked.
Get out of here.
I really would have liked to see like Shang Tsung being like, okay, so like since we definitely need to win this next tournament in order to take over Earthrealm, it's like I'd like to see like old Shang Tsung and him gradually needing to suck like the souls and life essence of people to become younger like he does. And that would give him purpose for actually, going after.
He's got pissed off at Kung
after the
Lao. He's like,
champions and stuff.
I'm just gonna
I
suck
also
your
like
soul
when
because
he
you pissed
takes
me
it
off.
from defeated warriors. He just doesn't do it on the whim, you know.
He just automatic. It was like a cheat code. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
plot device. Let me suck your soul.
I know Kung Lao was nice and all, but he was kind of cringe at some point.
No, Kung Lao was dope.
No. Well, when he first introduced himself to Kato, he was like, "My name is Kung Lao."
He had the best fatality in
Kung
the
Lao.
film.
It was the closest thing to an in-game fatality. Why do you have to say flawless victory at the end of it? Like, couldn't
Right. Why do you have to break the fourth wall? He's talking to himself. Flawless victory.
No, they did it throughout the movie. Even Kano, he's like, Kano wins.
With the heart. Yeah, he had that
Yeah.
fucking
Crazy.
Liu Kang was like fake.
I love that shit.
Because really, when it came to
Kind of fun though.
Because really, when it came to the game references, I really thought that, or I thought it was going to be like the first Mortal Kombat movie where Shang Tsung was sitting on the throne saying fatality, finish him, like, and all that. I thought
That
he
was
was
a little more
I thought he
cringy to
was
me.
going to do the video game references like that to declare the winner.
But that
and
Scorpion at the end, that hit, right? When he did that
Yeah.
get over here, that
No,
kind of hit.
no. I
You
disagree.
feel that?
I
You
disagree.
feel
That
You
was
ain't got no love for
weak.
Scorpion?
That was a weak get over here.
And Death Row.
He was mumbling.
Wait, I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you this right now.
like,
The,
no lie,
the
I
take
would-
is
I would've-
better in the movie.
I
The
would have
take is
loved.
better. The get over take is better in the movie.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
trailer
that's
was different. You are right, bro.
Yeah.
I would have loved if even for that one moment for them to break continuity and use Ed Boon's voice to use the OG get over here because it had it was like get over. I'm like,
It's not like he
I can't
did
hear
somebody's
anything.
name.
If I was in the theater, because I watched it on HBO Max, I ain't go to theater for this shit. But if I was in the theaters, I would have jumped up. When he
And
said,
then,
get over here.
and then when
Like,
Scorpion's
yo.
trying to talk at the last in like the last like 5 minutes or something, he takes off his mask like 3 times and puts it on just to take it off.
You gotta
30
get that
seconds
check.
later,
Carlos, that's for the check, Carlos. You gotta.
he's
Gotta
just
get that
like,
check.
"I'm
Yeah,
Scorpion.
that's
I
all
will
I
avenge my family."
Hey,
Check.
cut that
they
check,
should've
bro.
Maybe this is the
Cut
first time he
that
breathed
check.
fire, you
Cut
know?
that
Maybe this is
check.
the first time he breathed fire. He's like, oh, it's hot. It's hot. Oh, I need some of that cool air. Hot.
I remember I'm
Yeah,
behind
no,
this
I
mask now.
I would.
Yeah,
He
we do know that
He took off
it's,
3 times for like
not-
makes no sense.
No,
No, it's
you
garbage.
gotta think about it like
Yeah.
this. It is hot for those COVID masks. Let's be real. You have to take them off constantly.
Wow. That'd be a
Oh,
dope
yeah.
COVID
Wow,
mask.
Jeffrey.
Oh my god! And I guess we're spoiling everything for
Yeah.
for
Oh,
Johnny.
yeah. Well, I
It's
mean, it doesn't
entertaining.
matter if you haven't seen it by now. And Johnny, unfortunately, you didn't see it yet. But I'm sure.
The good guys
Just
wins,
know.
Johnny. The good
Yeah.
guys win.
Oh my god, you don't say.
Yeah.
And
Or
the other
Tuesday.
guys are lazy.
See, unlike in the situation with Warner Brothers, the good guys win in the Mortal Kombat movie, but that's not the case in real life, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And
They didn't have
literally-
Striker. It didn't have
Yeah,
Striker
yeah,
getting
dude.
fatality, man. That's
Oh.
what would have sold me. I would have watched it Snyder style. The moment it hit on HBO Max,
Yo, what
There was
is
some cool fatalities in it. I thought.
You want to know? Or no, this is
the
actually a
person-
better comparison for WB heads. Let's make this comparison. Can we agree, for everyone who knows Mortal Kombat lore, that WB are the elder gods of of real life?
No.
Like, bro, they're lazy. They're lazy.
They don't do
and
anything but
don't
sit
know
on
what
their
to
ass.
do.
Oh man.
No, they're Power Ranger villains, man.
Oh man, these villains.
Don't give them
That's
new
actually
gods.
the
They ain't that level. They're just walking around, surround themselves with stupid ass putties with
Right, they're
more
right.
dead.
They're mindless.
Yeah.
They're just mindless parademons of Toby Emmerich.
made
guys
out of
are
clay
natural,
by
bro.
Rita Repulsa. She's like, I
Yeah.
made this new one. I call it Walter Hamada.
Oh man.
But
Walter.
But yeah, like really, they are essentially the TV show Power Ranger villains, and I specify the TV show Power Ranger villains because we can all agree that the villain in the 2017 Power Ranger movie plays no games. We can agree on that.
Ivan Ooze was pretty hard too, man, from the original movie. Ivan Ooze didn't fuck around.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And you guys are all just like straight faced and shit. That's awkward.
Talking about Power Rangers 1995, bro.
No, but Ivan
I-
Ooze, he was the
I-
original
I haven't
chin
watched
guy.
that. I haven't
He had
watched
those
that.
things on his chin, and Steppenwolf had the, I don't know.
Yeah, I watched that movie when I was 10, bro.
Bro.
Wow.
No, that was dope though. That was a good movie at the time.
All right. Well, I guess what I want to do now, because you guys, we've kind of covered so many topics here, so I kind of want to go around here and get everybody's final thoughts here on tonight's show. Basically, we're gonna start. Yeah, we're gonna start with you, Lord Koj. Overall, what do you think, man, about everything, about Warner Brothers, about Mortal Kombat?
Oh, Warner Brothers is still the same bad guys and pretentious and trying to rewrite what we are and rewrite their success. Nothing's changed there. Mortal Kombat had a lot of potential. I like the art. I like the talent that they used, but I didn't like how they used them. There were a few good moments, but overall, it's a committee movie and it's all over the place. And they break the tone. They even, it's like Kung Lao, when he throws his hat, sometimes it cuts people, sometimes it just knocks Cole in the face and he doesn't get hurt. It's like, is it going to be gory or is it not going to be gory? Make up your mind. And then it's like all fine, like, oh, fuck you, da da da. And then it's like, uppercut, dad. It's like, is this for kids or for adults?
They're telling him to uppercut when he's in a full clench. He's clenching I'm gonna totally uppercut.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When I heard
him, there you go.
I'll be honest, when I heard the dog say uppercut, in my mind, I literally heard Ryu say Hadouken.
Wow.
No, it's Shoryuken, man.
Yeah.
Cole is literally like up against the cage, getting his face bashed in, getting grabbed. Throw uppercut. Sure thing.
For a second,
He should have. He didn't. He would have saved him.
He was in a clench. How can you uppercut somebody that's clenching you against the cage?
If he has that birthmark, he could, just do it. And then a tonfa will come out, and then body armor will come out. So it's
body armor, plot armor.
Yeah, I'm not that good. He can take hits, and it's like, oh, ow. He's got the bumpers in the lane when he goes bowling. That's his power.
There you go, man. Plot body armor. I've never seen that live before.
They robbed Takeda of his power.
All right, Jeffrey Warfield, Watchtower, your final thoughts, brother.
Well, for Mortal Kombat, it kind of got worse with more repeated viewings, and that's all I have to say on that. It had potential, like you said, and to WB and Warner and AT&T, HBO Max, and all of them, we try to play nice, but you know what? The war has begun.
That's deep. That's
Yeah,
deep.
pretty much.
I thought you
All
were
right,
going more, bro. Wow.
Whole nother level.
and Mr. Truth.
That was my dog side impression, by the way.
That was
I
good,
love
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. It was a good Jeffrey.
And the Truth 31, man. What is your final thoughts tonight, bro?
Listen, WB is gonna WB. So fuck them. As far as Mortal Kombat's trash, and unfortunately, we're gonna get a sequel. So all I can hope for is that they do a better job, and hopefully they replace some of the actors, get a better fucking story.
Coleslaw.
And, coleslaw.
He's here to stay.
And Casper Van Dien for Johnny Cage. So that's all I gotta say about that.
Dope.
All right, and
Johnny
Sil Abdul, man,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here tonight.
you
Your
already know,
final
man.
thoughts, brother.
Yeah, I'm glad to come through here, man. Hey, MKU, that's what Louis Tan said on Twitter. MKU, the universe, it's starting, all right? So we're going to get some spinoffs, some sequels. It's just like Hamada Burgers, all right? It's just like Hamada Burgers. It's all coming. It's coming. But going forward, though, yeah, Warner Brothers tomorrow on my coffee talk, I'm gonna have Everett Lauder, a small screen, the infamous journalist, a small screen, and we're gonna talk about DC Films' plans. So if you want to be depressed about the next year or two, watch my stream tomorrow because you're gonna see the plans for DC Films.
Yeah, always.
And more Hamada Burgers coming. More coming.
You know what? The plans aren't gonna happen. I'm telling you, those plans aren't gonna happen. I'm making a prediction right now.
MKU.
Those DC plans aren't gonna happen.
All right,
It's not
Hamada
gonna
Burgers.
be
It's coming. It's coming.
No,
Jeff.
it's not gonna happen.
We'll see.
We can count on is eventually we'll get a Mortal Kombat versus DC movie, maybe at this point with the way things are going.
Might
With
as well.
the
Just throw all the shit against the wall.
Now, if it's a Mortal Kombat versus DC movie, is that a crossover or is that based off a video game movie then?
That'd be a video game.
Yeah,
because they originated as a video game, right? Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that'd be a video game movie.
Because then, if they do a video game movie, then they could have their precious reboot.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
They don't have to mess with what's
the path.
already
It could be
a lot of truth been spoken on this panel tonight. I'll tell you that much. that one, Carlos, man. What about you, man? What's your final thoughts on all this nonsense tonight, bro?
All right. Well, Mortal Kombat is trash. If I was to greenlight anything, I'd greenlight a reboot. I did see it.
No, you didn't. You didn't see it yet.
No, I haven't seen it. Carlos saw it.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Johnny.
Carlos talking.
It's absolute garbage. 4 out of 10.
I'm about to watch it again right now.
Oh no! Don't support that. Don't
Straight up, man. That's gangster. I'm gonna watch it to the show tonight too. I'm gonna check it out, man.
I'm about to watch it.
I'm about to live stream it right
you need to tell us how you feel about it. About WB and stuff like that. I don't even know what to do anymore, man. Like, I kind of lost all faith in that, and this is what I was gonna say. I was really thinking because like I when Koji was talking, I thought of it, and then when everybody else talked, I just lost it. Somehow we need to find a way to, rightfully and calmly and like do it well, but we need to corner some of these executives and have them answer for what they're doing, like an interview or something. I don't think they'll ever I don't know how we're gonna pull the wool over their eyes just for a second, but I think they should we deserve an answer. We deserve an answer. So and I was looking on Twitter and stuff, and I think there was some interview with Jason Kilar and stuff like that. Didn't really listen to it, so I won't comment on that. But we deserve an answer.
He ain't got shit to say. Kilar ain't got shit to say. Just know that he ain't gonna say shit.
But wait, still, isn't that gag order still going?
They can't talk about the Snyder Cut. Warner Media, company wide, they are not allowed to talk about the Snyder Cut. So that is what it is.
Why not? I mean, do they really not like it that much? I mean,
it's all about the theatrical release. It's all about perception for their stockholders, for their investors.
Excuses.
No, it's all excuses. It's all excuses.
Yeah.
Zod is right. We all need to collectively make a pact. We need to buy shares. We need to make a pact, all right, and combine all of our shares to be like 30 or 40% of whatever HBO Max's parent stock is, all right, and then we get to have a say at the table, man.
Because wasn't it wild?
Did you watch Batman Begins?
Jason Claw was very
that's
active
cool,
on Twitter before 214 day, and he went silent for 2 months now, almost 3 months now, because of the gag order.
Yeah, because he's the only Snyder fan in the company, so they muzzled him. Can't speak.
They locked him in a cage.
You know what? Like at this point, like I wouldn't like really. If you were to ask me, what I would do is like I won't say we should join WB or something like that. Yada yada.
I'm not saying storm. I'm just saying we need to find a way to make them answer.
Like Carlos,
interview or something.
This is simply something I think that at least one person should do. Just walk up to WB, then just really ask them. Like really, it's like I know people are gonna say that this is toxic and stuff, but no, like it is just simply that simple. Like why can't we just walk in and then
you'll be escorted out by security by three security guards. Good luck.
Let you in. I don't know.
You got it with the shot. At least
whatever they say, what would you do? They just say it and then next day continue on course.
I don't know.
Like part of the problem is all they do is lie. That's part of the problem. All they do is lie. So
you're getting a Hamada-verse. Everybody just
No, you're not.
So isn't even trying to tell us that we're getting the Snyderverse anymore. He's telling us every day we're getting those Hamada burgers.
No,
let me get that Birds of Prey 2 real quick.
Hey, fast track it. True.
No, I'm going to Marvel. I'm going to the MCU.
Yeah,
I'll do a Secret Invasion. I'm
gonna start watching. I'm gonna start watching Falcon and Winter Soldier tonight, and I never thought I would watch that.
Binge that shit.
Enough Walter Scrollmata.
That's a good show. I like it.
You know what?
Well, Johnny, since you're saying it's a good show, your final thoughts on the night, brother.
My final thoughts on the night are very simple. I believe that Zack Snyder is an artist. I believe that his best work as a director is ahead of him. I want him to move forward. I think this whole idea of him going backwards to something that is a toxic culture to him, like I think that's something nobody thinks about is how bad Warner Brothers would be if he was to go back to work for them. Imagine being hired back to a job where everybody fucking hates you. And then try to make a $200 million movie in that atmosphere. So, like, I am utterly supporting Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead is my shit, and that's all I'm about this year. If they decide to make more DC movies, that's grand, whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, like, Zack is free, and Zack is going to make beautiful art. And that is what I am down to support from here on out. And if he never makes a movie about a guy in a cape again, I ain't going to be sad about that because that ain't where he came from for me. I've been watching his shit since Dawn of the Dead, man, since the get-go. Yeah. And he's lit. And I can't wait to see what he does when he gets to make his movies. He's going to make his movies now.
Right.
And that's what I want to see.
Go watch Mortal Kombat, Johnny.
I am, for real.
Because imagine this, like, if you were to tell me that we would have gotten zombie ninjas and the zombie tigers and stuff, I would have told you, dude, you're crazy. It's a zombie genre movie. They're always the same. And that's really the problem I've always had with zombie genre movies. The zombie genre has always been that vanilla flavor to me, like it never really changed as much. But then once Zack leaves, it's like, you know what? Here's a whole buffet of a whole bunch of new zombie stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm down.
I want to add one more thought because Johnny, that was inspiring. If that's cool. Zod?
Yeah.
All right, go. Just asking. No, because I was just thinking while you were saying that, like, there's a great wrestler like CM Punk, and he said if he would ever go back, it would have to be if things change over there. And I've been thinking what restore the Snyderverse is, to me, it's not like more Justice League of Snyder's plan. No, it's not them making more of his story. It's him making his story his way, and things. In order for that to happen, there has to be positive, actual change. People have to be relocated, fired, and keys to the kingdom just given to him. Let him have free reign. They do not deserve to work with him. They do not deserve him to make them easy money. They do not deserve to work with his properties, in my opinion. They all they need to do is just let him be. And if they can't do that, if things don't change there, they can't leave him alone. I'm almost done, bro. If they can't, then we are going to enjoy the future without them.
Right, and that's
really
that is for me. Right, and that's really the thing. Really, like, we don't owe them anything, really. Like, that's the thing that is, like, that's the thing. They think that we need them, but we don't. But we don't need them for anything. Like, we have entertainment other ways. Like, people say that that Snyder fans only care about Snyder's stuff. No, that's not true. I actually do like. I do like Gravity Falls. I like Infinity Train. I like the Warrior series that was on Cinemax. I like a whole bunch of other stuff other than Zack Snyder's stuff. So what am I supposed to do? Well, the MCU seems to have things handled. I'm gonna go back to the MCU with them doing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier being a huge success, and them doing Captain America 4. I'm gonna watch that. Then you have that Jupiter movie on Netflix. That looks really cool. I'm gonna watch that. Then you have that Black Samurai anime that's coming out. The Yasuke or something. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but you have that Black Samurai anime that's coming out. I'm gonna watch that. So it's like I have a whole bunch of content to go through that I'm looking forward to. So what is it? So what makes you think that I owe you anything?
Trash
that's
point.
That's actually a great point. That's actually a great point. And there was one other thing I wanted to touch on just before we go. That Superman and Lois show is now on HBO Max. The Snyderverse is over with. Okay, with that,
going to be there though.
We're gonna say good night. We will see you next week on the ZodWriter Show. I want to thank my panelists: Sil Abdul Inc., Jeffrey Warfield, Carlos, Johnny the Truth, and of course the great Lord Koj. And we will be back next week. Good night, everybody. Peace.
We're still here.